Turn off your enthusiastic Western fool mode, my viewer, and let's talk frankly about the Roman Coliseum. Officially, the Coliseum was used for 500 years, and Romans loved the night shows, which, according to historians, were lit by thousands of torches and oil lamps. But the Coliseum is built from construction materials, and these are very complex materials, travertine and tuff. Why are they complex? These are porous stones, limestones, that act like a sponge. Over centuries, using those torches, soot, grease, and grime should have soaked into the walls many centimeters deep. Look, for example, at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre or the old cathedrals of Europe. All the walls there are black, and no amount of chemicals can remove that carbon buildup. In the Coliseum, however, all the inner vaults and corridors are surprisingly clean, as if they were unpacked yesterday. What does the official version say? That in the 19th century, when the Coliseum was excavated, they just went and cleaned all these walls. But washing this travertine and tuff of century-old soot without turning it into dust is technically just impossible. There's only one conclusion. There were no night performances with torches within these walls for 500 years. And what was there is unclear, just as it's unclear whether the Coliseum itself even existed. And here we've come to a very interesting question. On medieval maps of Italy and detailed plans of Rome before the 17th century, we see a striking anomaly. Rome on these maps is drawn with fanatical precision, but in place of the Coliseum, and the Coliseum is a giant amphitheater with over 50,000 seats, in place of the Coliseum, there's either a vacant lot or a modest two-story ring of ruins. The empire's greatest landmark looks like a backwater warehouse on Renaissance maps. That colossal four-tiered Coliseum we know suddenly appears in documents and engravings only by the early 19th century, when the Vatican and Rome began large-scale construction of many things. Historians and tour guides will tell you the Coliseum was simply buried up to its top floors when the maps were drawn. But that's a typical unintelligent, excuse the slang, cop-out. And here is why. The Arch of Constantine stands right next to the Coliseum. It's exactly 3 times shorter than today's Coliseum building, yet it's on all the medieval engravings. So you can't talk about any burial of the Coliseum. It seems gladiators in the arena weren't fighting for freedom, but to avoid being forced to sign cost estimates. Estimates for buying bricks at the ancient hardware store